the first thing we want to make sure we do is that we have it either hanging or we're holding it by the back dorsal D-ring. That way we can get an overview of the whole harness at once and so that nothing is tangled. So we're going to first take a look at all of our webbing. We're going to make sure that we inspect for any tears, any frays in the webbing, and just any corroded materials. Make sure there's not too much writing or any writing at all so that you can still see if there's any problems with it. So our next step is going to be actually looking at the hardware pieces, so our back D-ring, and we're going to be looking at our connecting straps. So we want to check for any damaged pieces. We want to look for any bent, cracked, distorted. If we have anything of that, we're going to take it out of service. We want to check down here on our leg straps. We want to look at the pieces to make sure that these are all intact. If we're missing any of the grommets, we don't want to use this harness because it will tear to the next one and that will cause it to rip. So once we make sure that all of our metal pieces are good to go, we are going to move on to our impact indicators. So the impact indicators will be located on the back of our harness. Sometimes you will see the words impact indicator, sometimes you will not. If you do not, you want to make sure you check to see that it is still stitched together like this. If it is not, then it most likely has been subject to a fall. When it comes to an impact indicator, if that is showing, it'll be a red line. And if that is being shown, then you want to make sure you take it out of service. So there's one on each side. We want to make sure we check both of them and that the stitching is still intact. Okay, so the next thing we're going to check is our labels on our harness. We want to check to make sure that there is an inspection log that you can sign off on. These should be inspected prior to each use and also monthly, and they should be documented on the tag. These will also give you information on what size they are, if they are ANSI approved, and how much weight can be held inside of these. Most of the time it'll be about 130 to 310 pounds depending on which harness you're using, but you just want to check to make sure that you see that in the tags. So if all of that is good to go, you've checked out all your pieces, everything looks like it is ready, we're going to then don the harness. So after we're finished inspecting our harness, we are going to don or put on our harness. So the first thing we want to make sure again is that nothing's tangled. So grab it by the back D-ring, you're going to shake it, make sure nothing is twisted and that you're able to put it on. So we're going to take and grab it and put it on like a jacket. So you're going to put one arm through and then you're going to put your other arm through to make sure that nothing gets twisted in the process. We are then going to turn around and we are going to check to make sure that our back D-ring is in between our shoulder blades. We don't want it up too high and we don't want it down too low. So once that is adjusted, we're going to turn back around and we are going to look at our chest strap. So on some harnesses, the chest strap may look like this. So with these ones, you're going to hook it together and you're going to make sure that it is about in the center of your stomach and chest. After this is all adjusted and you pull these to make sure it is all tightened up, you are going to move to your leg straps. So you want to grab the first one, you're going to bring it through and you're going to hook it into its connecting. You want to make sure that you adjust it enough so you can still fit 2 fingers between yourself and your leg strap. You don't want it to be too tight or too loose. So once that one's done, you're going to move on to your second strap. You're going to do the same process of making sure it is secured and that you can fit 2 fingers between yourself and the strap. And then you are going to turn around, and something that I like to do is actually have somebody come up and just pull on it a little bit upwards to make sure nothing's too tight or uncomfortable. Once that is ready to go, you will be able to hook up your connecting device so that you can get onto your anchor.